Okay, let's continue to talk boxing. I just want to talk here about a fight that's happening this weekend. It sees Adrien Broner going up against Paulie Malignaggi. Now I'm picking Adrien Broner to win this fight, and I'm picking to win the fight by stoppage, around say rounds 8 or 9. Malignaggi, I've warmed to Malignaggi as many boxing fans have. You know, he's on Twitter, he's got a lot of time for his fans. Earlier in his career, he was a bit more disliked, I'd say, because he liked to run his mouth and stuff, and he just wasn't really a fan favourite. I don't think particularly. But recently, he's matured. He's been doing a lot of good commentary work in the States, and he's got boxing knowledge, no doubt about it. This is a guy who studies boxing. He knows the game. He's not one of these boxers who just boxes and doesn't really care. Doesn't really look into boxing. Doesn't really try and study the game. Try and to work out a style and a game plan. This is a guy who knows what he's up against here, and he knows his boxing. So credit to him for that. And I think early on in this fight he could be very competitive with Broner. Malignaggi's a slick fighter. He's quite difficult to pin down. He's tricky. I think he can actually throw a good jab, and he's got a good straight right hand. And I think he's got good movement. In general, Malignaggi he's a good boxer. A really good tricky little boxer. But he's also up against a very tricky boxer in Adrien Broner. He's up against a very, in my opinion, equally sharp and quick boxer. But something that needs to be said about Adrien Broner here, which I think may be overlooked sometimes, is his power. He has tremendous power. He has stoppage punches. If you look, since 2009, I think he had like a majority decision over Fernando Quintero? A majority decision victory. And then since 2009 then, he had every victory he had was a stoppage victory, up until his points decision victory over Ponce de Leon. And then since then, every victory he's had has been a stoppage victory again. So since 2009, he's only ever won, he's only gone the distance once. So that says something about the guy's power. And okay, like Malignaggi's been saying, he hasn't really been fighting the best guys. He's fought a few, lower level tier opposition. But at the same time, you've still got to do the job. You've still got to get the job done. You've got to get him out of there. He had the fights. One of his most notable recent fights, in my opinion, is against Antonio DeMarco. We saw what DeMarco did against Linares, who was supposed to be the next big thing, and who Emmanuel Stewart said was, I think I heard him commentate saying he was one of the best. Some of the best boxing he'd ever seen, or something, when he watched Linares. But DeMarco came back and stopped him. So DeMarco's no pushover. That was a tough fight. I thought it was a good level of opposition. He was a good guy to fight, and I think that Broner did the job on him. Broner has a very quick lead left hook. It's very sharp and powerful, and I think he's sharp and quick, and I think he's tricky to pin down himself. And I think that early on it may be a bit cagey, but I think as the fight goes on, I think that he may start catching Malignaggi, and I think he will hurt Malignaggi. I think he'll stop him. I'm going round 8 or 9. It could happen earlier. We'll have to wait and see. Now, like I said early on, I think Malignaggi may be competitive. I think he's going to start a bit cautious. I think you have to start using that jab. I think if he can be consistent with that jab, he could try and swing the momentum his way. He could try and keep control a bit of the pace of the fight. Here, I wouldn't expect the most exciting fight, guys, because look, we've got two guys who fight quite a lot on their back foot. I'd say if anyone was more of a front-footed fighter, it was probably Adrien Broner. Sometimes he likes to walk guys down if he gets on top of them, but he normally does it when he's comfortable. Now, early on in this fight, we may see a cagey affair. We've got both guys on their back foot, trying to suss the other guy out, focusing quite a lot on defence, rather than attack. And there may be, a few jabs thrown out there to test the waters. And I think it's going to take one of these guys to get hit before we really see them open up and actually see these guys going for it. And then as the fight progresses, we may see a bit more excitement. But I'm expecting a cagey affair to begin with. But this is boxing, you never know. So I'm picking Adrien Broner for this fight. I like Malignaggi. I'd like to think he could do it. This is a good fight to be happening. It's another good test for Adrien Broner. I think that Malignaggi is genuinely quite a tricky fighter, and like I said, difficult to pin down. If he gets caught by Adrien Broner, I would expect it to be a bit of a counter-punching situation where he comes in to perhaps jab Broner, and Broner sort of slips the jab and or he slips the jab and he comes through with a quick lead left or something like that. A quick counter-punch that could hurt Malignaggi rather than sort of an attacking, come forward type barrage. So they're my thoughts. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it with you guys. Please let me know what you think. Do you actually think that Malignaggi does this? Do you think he beats Broner? What do you think of the fight, and how do you think it goes? Thanks for watching.